Okay, I just sent a challenge to Sicilian Air, and he accepted it. So Sicilian Air here, he got white in the first game. We're going to play a pair of games. The time is 10 and 5. Oh, we start off with an English. Well, let's see. I guess I should stick to my guns and play my usual system against the English. Anyway, the time control is 10 minutes plus 5 seconds increments, so nice slow time control. Tony, Sicilian Air is Tony, he has his own YouTube channel, and he's doing a commentary on his end as well. So anyway, yeah, I will put links to his channel and to his video, and be sure and check out his comments on the video. It should be interesting to see this game from both sides. So I'm going to play this early d5, and oh, he suffered from a disconnect there. Oops. I hope that's I hope he comes back. I hope that's not a problem. He's offline. Wow. We're just getting started, too. I should cancel this game before it resigns. I don't want to mess up his rating here. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Oh, he's reconnected. Okay. There he goes. Okay, so he lost a minute of time there, but he got his connection back, so he doesn't lose the rating points. So anyway, this is a system I play against the English, where I try to exchange the pawn on d5 early, create some open lines here. And if he takes the knight, I'll take back with the pawn, and that'll open up a line for my light squared bishop. So he's not going for that. He's playing this move, rook to b8. It supports the b pawn. So if I have a bishop along this diagonal, the rook can support that pawn, but I don't have a bishop there yet. And I don't think it's part of my plan to put the bishop there. I think I will play bishop here and just castle. Let's see, what are his ideas? Knight to b5 is always an idea here. He's got to decide what he wants to do with his central pawns and how he wants to develop his dark squared bishop. Those are White's tasks at this moment. I think I have a pretty simple development plan here for myself. I can castle, I can play knight here. Okay, so he decided to push the e-pawn forward. That kind of transposes this into a Sicilian, doesn't it? You know, going by his name, Sicilian Air. So speaking of Sicilians, can I play knight to b4 here? I guess it's White that plays crazy knight moves like this in the Sicilian. I'm just thinking, you know, there is this square on d3 here, and if the knight's not happy there, it can drop back to c6. So Sicilian Air is a really good blitz player. Looks like he's got a couple hundred points on me in this game. But I looked up our over-the-board ratings, and I actually have a higher over-the-board rating. So this game being kind of a medium time control, maybe things will work out. So I would say, not knowing anything else other than those two facts, I would say the odds are even. Should be good games here. Have to watch out for those tricks and those tactics. So I was expecting him just to play d3. I mean, that's a good move, and then he can kick my knight later. d3, you know, prevents me from... oh, maybe I could just take the pawn on d3. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, so this e4 push did create a hole on d3. So maybe he's trying to figure out the situation here. Can he guard d3 in any way? Light squared bishop is over here. The knights are a couple hops away. Yeah, I guess he cannot stop knight to d3. Okay, so this is a good opening result for me then, I guess. Yeah, so he's going to allow knight d3. If I go ahead and play this, let's see, I'll gain something because his king will be forced to move. And I can leave that knight there for a while. I don't have to move it. Let's see, how do I want to get my other pieces into the game? I could just castle. I could bring the knight out. I could bring a bishop into the game somehow. You know, I could I could play pawn to c4 at some point and just cement that knight on that square. How about knight to c6 though? What has he got against that? And maybe try and control the e5 square. I have two knights and also potentially a bishop there that I could all point to e5 there. And well, he's going to have a little trouble untangling over here. And I guess I should keep an eye out on tactics for myself. Let's see, how about if I play e5 and develop my bishop out here? Might be good. Okay, so he's going to keep my knight from hopping into the b4 square. The knight could go to d4. Knight takes, queen takes. And I'm actually threatening mate on f2, but he can protect that with queen to e2. So let's start with pushing the e-pawn forward. This might become a big threat if I get my bishop to g4 and then play knight to d4. That looks like a pretty dangerous potential attack there. Yeah, the opening went wrong for white here somehow. And his pieces are just going to have trouble untangling is the way it looks to me. Where could this knight go? It hasn't got many good squares to go to. It could retreat. You know, actually knight back to e1 is an idea worth considering here. Just try and trade off this annoying knight. But he comes forward with his knight. That's also a reasonable thing to try. Targeting my dark squared bishop. Looking at these squares. c7, b6, over here. So, but I still want to play knight to, or bishop. Bishop g4 though doesn't have the same punch, does it? Well, bishop g4 followed by knight to d4 is still putting a lot of pressure on that knight. And it develops a piece, so let's get that out there. And if this knight gets into trouble, it can always bail out by grabbing the bishop on c1. That's why I'm not too worried about that knight at the moment. So knight d4, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. I guess I'm not really threatening to win material there, so I need something else. Yeah, it's a good knight he has here. So he probably doesn't even want to take my bishop. He probably just wants to leave that knight there. Maybe castles and push the f-pawn forward to undermine that knight. Okay, so he's looking at the knight, he's looking at the pawn. Let's see, if I take his bishop and he takes the pawn, it threatens my knight. Let's think. Do I have a way to get out of this? Is he going to snag some material here? Oh, that was a good move. If I just defend the b-pawn, my knight is hanging. So knight takes, queen takes. my knight is hanging with check. So I probably need to move it. And then he can take my knight. And then the question is, where do I even move that? Oh, the knight goes here. Okay, that's what we'll have to do. Knight takes bishop, queen takes pawn, knight to d4 is what I was thinking. Oh, he just went there. Okay, well now that gives me time to play b6 here and defend that pawn. Okay, 5 minutes to 6 minutes. We're doing pretty well on the time here. Half the time is gone, and yeah, I don't know. I'm probably taking a little too much time here, but 2/3 of the time for 13 moves. 1/3 of the time for the first 13 moves. Usually the openings will go a little bit quicker, but we got into an unusual position right away in the opening. So if I wanted to simplify things, I could take the knight. He takes with the bishop, and then he might take with the queen, though. He's still got a backwards pawn. I have something like a Maroczy structure here in reverse. Let's see, where are my weaknesses? I have a loose knight here on c6, so he could try something like queen to a4 or queen to b5, pinning my knight. Yeah, I could bring the bishop back to defend the knight and attack the queen. Yeah, he went queen b5. That's not a bad move. I could also come with the bishop. I mean the queen. I could unpin with the queen or the bishop. I think it's better to unpin with the bishop. My queen might be kind of a target on that square, and I want to be able to castle. So castle should be happening. I think he's managed to get out of the worst of his problems. So I probably have played some inaccurate moves as usual. But he still has problems to deal with. He still has to get his rook into the game. And so do I, but I can castle and get that rook going. So that's my plan. Castle here, try and get all my pieces into the game. And let's see, and then maybe get in f4 to undermine this knight, which is an excellent piece there. So let's go ahead and castle. Let's see, another way to play this would be bishop to e6 here. Okay, so he's going to bring his rook in along the h-file. Not a bad plan. Knight could come here now. This pawn is under fire. I have to be careful with that. But if I just play bishop to a6, I'm threatening to take that knight and win a pawn. But then my queen is in line with this bishop here. So my queen would be subject to a discovered attack from the knight, from a knight move. But I don't see, and I can go to these dark squares here. I don't see any huge threat from that knight, from those knight discoveries. Let's see. I could start with this move, though. Oh no, if I do that, and he trades off his knight. Let's see. Let's start with getting a rook to the c-file. I was just realizing if I undefend my knight by playing bishop to e6, he can play a move like b4, take advantage of the pin on the c-file against my loose knight. So defending the knight, there's a little bit of prophylaxis against that. Potential tactics there. And yeah, if I want to do this exchange on d4 to get rid of that annoying knight, so that's interesting. He wants to have me take and open up the h-file, and I don't want to take. So let's kick the knight back and see if he wants to sacrifice the knight. I guess he could play queen to h5, threatening mate. I take, he takes, and then the queen on the h-file with the rook behind it is still a danger. Queen h5, pawn takes knight, pawn takes. Oh, I just went back. I also had something like h6 there after queen h5. Take with the, well, not to take, but just to prevent the mate. And then it might be okay to take the knight. Okay, so what's going on here? Yeah, so now let's go with this bishop e6 idea. Okay, what's he got here? Knight can trade itself for this bishop. He could bring more support. He just gets his knight out of the way. That's not a bad plan. So now if I take, he takes with the pawn. And that pawn is a passed pawn, which can be annoying. I could play knight to... Yeah, I can get a tempo playing knight to d4. I guess I should go for that. Let's take anyway. Start by taking and then play knight to d4. And maybe queen over to f5 is a good square. Start looking at some of these squares. The knight, these light squares are looking weak over here. The knight could hop into b3. Okay, and so he sets his queen up there. So I want to prevent any discovery. You're starting to push the pawn with check. So let's prevent that. And you know, I can chase his queen back with a couple of pawn pushes. See, we do have opposite colored bishops. That's a potential problem. Yeah, I was just noticing that. Yeah, he has that diagonal for his bishop along here. So he's hitting my my rook on the c-file. Let's lift that up. And I can take that. And I guess I should. I mean, it looks like I should be able to round that pawn up now. I have to be careful about the c-file still. He's got two pieces lined up on the c-file, so he can still try to break through with the moves like b4. The d-file is pretty well covered with the two pawns there. Okay, so he is going for... Let's see, if he pushes all the way forward, then I will play g6. He goes h6, I go g6. This pawn becomes weak. But I think that's okay. I think I want to round up that pawn. Let him play h6, and I'll just go g6. I don't want to push g6 right away. Have him trade and open up the h-file. I could have played h6 myself, but then I have all these pawns on dark squares, making this bishop a pretty bad piece. So here I have ways to improve the bishop. You know, all my pawns, they're on the dark squares, which is the wrong color for that bishop. But it's not fixed, so those pawns can come forward, and the bishop can come to life. At some point in the game. So what have we got? We're down to queen, two rooks, and one minor piece. So, and he's going to attack here. So let's think about this. I take, it defends the bishop. He's going to, but my rook is also pinned, so he could try and bring his knight to one of these dark squares. He's not getting there easily because I control them all. And, well, I'm going to unpin pretty quickly. Okay, so he planned to play there. So I could unpin immediately too. And I probably should. And then maybe something like bishop back to b8 and rook to d6 might be an idea. And a minute, 3 minutes, so I should speed up a little bit. We're only we're only on move 30, so once again I probably used a little bit too much time there. Ah, he wants to go that way. Okay, let's chase the queen off with this rook. The bishop's protected. Queen goes back. Yeah, so let's pile up on the d file here. Keep the f pawn defended. Let's not lose the f pawn. So queen forward. Where is that knight going? So now I am threatening to take this pawn. I didn't want to take it and give up my f pawn here. That would have been probably not so great. And now it's time to start thinking about getting my bishop into the game. Okay, so he piled up that way. So yeah, I'd like to play rook to d5, but he's got that d4, but he's got that covered by the knight. I wonder if I can push something forward here. Say I play pawn here. I guess he takes. I guess he just takes it. He's got it covered by the rook and the queen. Oh, he's going for that one. Okay, let's back up here. Keep that bishop protected. Anyway, I was thinking something like e4 here. Pawn takes. I take the rook. So the queen has to move, I guess. Okay, and where can the queen go? Yeah, it's got a number of squares it could go to, but I guess it doesn't want to go. Yeah, maybe it didn't have so many squares. Oh, that's a nice move. So that is pinning this pawn. And still take here with the rook. Rook takes, rook takes. And the queen has to move again. And now my bishop finally is liberated. My king's position is still dangerously dangerous in some way. So how can I take advantage of this bishop? Take here. I wonder if I could just push. No, but his knight goes there. Maybe something like this. I'm threatening to bring my queen down to the back rank, I guess. I mean, yeah, my rook. Bring my rook down to the back rank. Get the queen on this diagonal. Where should I position my bishop first? Don't know. Ah, okay, that was good. I should have positioned my bishop there to stop that check. I'm just lucky, really, that my queen was guarding the mating square. He got on that key diagonal. Yeah, so the bishop should have gone to C. The bishop should have gone to E5 there. Okay, where's his knight going? Oh, the queen is going there. Okay. I'm covering the square on the back rank here where he could check me from. So let's drop back and defend. Yeah, he's going for that. Okay, let's get this bishop off the back rank. That's been a source of problems for a while now. Let's take first. Now let's get the bishop off the back rank. Yeah, also guarding the G7 square. See, a minute 30 to 30 seconds. We have that 5-second increment though, so this game can go on, can continue and be played out. Do I have the move? Well, he goes there. Yeah, I sort of wanted to play my bishop to that square, but it's covered by a pawn, so that's annoying. So this way maybe. Okay, brought his rook down. Let's take here. Okay, he's threatening rook here maybe to chase my queen away. To chase, yeah, let's attack. This is tricky. If I just take the knight and he plays rook here, and I just drop my queen down, can he do anything? He's threatening mate over here. How about if I block? If I block, then he has the check on the back rank. So it's a little bit tricky. Let's attack his queen. Now the queen went there. Okay, now let's take the knight. And let's offer a queen trade. Yeah, my king is without a proper shelter here. I guess that's the problem. Okay, let's give myself a little space here. Start moving quicker. Okay, so I'm lined up here the way I want to. Let's start activating my pieces now. Oh, that's a check, huh? Okay, back here. Okay, finally a trade. I think he had something better there, actually. I think there was a problem in what I was playing. Okay, let's give my king one more space there. One more square. And this is going to be tough. Sometimes it's just tough. Okay, so he's guarding all of those squares. Let's with this pawn. That's what I can do. I can start running these pawns. Actually, I could have just put the queen all the way here. Yeah, that's annoying. What am I going to do? Yeah, so I ended up falling into a draw. Well, I just ran out of time. I certainly had a win there. But anyway, game drawn.